Alright, we're gonna start pulling some cards. Don't know what will come up, but we're just gonna start pulling. Shuffle them and see what we get. Hello. Just popping in real quick. Sorry I haven't been live yet. Thank you. My internet's down, so I'm using my building's Wi-Fi. So that's also why I won't be a short live. My phone is also pretty low on battery, so. But thank you. I appreciate the love. Hope you're doing well. Hope the day is treating you well. Happy Sunday. And let's get started. It is snowing like crazy over here. So I hope you're staying warm. Thank you for all the love. I was just about to say, anything you want us to know? Yeah. Maybe it's a good thing internet's off right now, because Spirit's saying rest, relaxation, meditation, contemplation, recuperation, retreat, renewal, and solitude. Yeah, you could probably be needing some solitude right now. You could probably be needing some rest and, maybe the things that you might find inconvenient, like not having internet, not having your phone on right now, like me, could really just be Spirit putting you down and being like, look, what I did? I whatever Wi-Fi I had, I downloaded some movies and I can use those without Wi-Fi. So I'm gonna watch some movies, gonna make some food, gonna snuggle up with my cats and just relax. Because you only can handle what you can handle at the moment, right? You only can do what you can do at the moment. And being unemployed and not really having any income right now, it doesn't make me feel less than. It just makes me a little irritated because I can't do what I need to do directly. So I have to find other ways to do that, which I can be pretty resourceful, like using my building's internet to get in live here with you to talk, just have a quick conversation, and really just check up on you guys, because we're all going through our own battles and all that. But yeah, they're literally just saying, take a break. So after this read, that's what I'm gonna do. All right, we have the Empress in reverse. Creative block, selfish, impatient, dependent on others, inaction, lack of consideration, indecisive, overwhelmed, anxiety, and infertility. Yeah, like I said, you might be feeling like with whatever down on luck situation you might be having, that it is hard to not feel impatient. It's hard not to feel like you don't have really anybody to help you right now, but the Spirit's just asking you to rely on them and let them handle the situation however they can and do their best to help you. But don't lose your concentration in this time to do what you need to do, to create, to go on live and talk, to come up with even ideas for yourself, not even for anyone else, but ideas for yourself to really help you align with what you got going on, And take it as it resonates. Not every message will be your message, and not every situation is your situation. It's just coming out in the energy. I know I have been feeling a little impatient when it comes to things, but that's kind of because I feel like I've been having to go in circles about some things. I have felt like I've been on delay about some things, but like I said, Spirit has reminded me and you to rest and to be in solitude and just retreat for a little bit, wherever you feel like you need to go, whether it's just in your room, whether it's, whether it's on vacation, just, justice. Because, that's what they're saying, be patient. Justice, upright. Justice, fairness, truth, clarity, equality, balance, cause and effect, and law. Like I said, it might be hard to not be impatient when you feel like things are stacking up against you more and more and more and more. Like, I would have loved to pay my internet bill, but I don't have a job to pay my internet bill, so I have to utilize what internet I do have, and that's public internet. I don't necessarily like being out of my own space when I do give these readings because other energy may be involved. But, Spirit is, like I said, telling me to do what I can with what I got, so that's what we're going to do. And right now, it is to rest and know that justice will come to you, but you also need to be patient. And I know it's hard when you're not seeing the results of whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, when you're not seeing the results of whatever it is you're trying to achieve, but you have to be patient, not only with yourself, but with others around you. It says dependent on others. You might have been dependent on others in the past. I know in struggle I have reached out to people who I felt could help me, but that also came with an ulterior motive of them holding it over my head, with them expecting me to, bound over in leaps in motions that I could not do, knowing that, I was already struggling, and it might be overwhelming for you. It might give you anxiety, and that's okay to feel, but you just need to be patient with yourself. Really give yourself that grace, really give yourself that time and relaxation that you need, and understand that you are doing what you can do with what you got. And that's all we can really do out here. So, thank you for this. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hello, Emma. I hope you're having a good day. Hello. What about this justice card, Spirit? What would you like to collect to know about this justice? I'm hearing long awaited. Long awaited. Okay. We have Queen of Wands. Upright. Courage, confident, independence, focus, zest for life, determination, and joy. Yeah, like I said, you could be feeling overwhelmed, but you're having the courage to move through these feelings, move through this. Like, for example, I always say, if you're moving out of your place or your parents' place and you're not really sure what to do or how to do it, know that you can trust yourself to do so. But you have to be patient with what you don't understand. You have to be patient with what you're learning and unlearning. Because in certain environments, we get so used to doing what we feel like we have to do instead of doing what we should be doing. And that's just honestly just taking care of ourselves. That's just taking the time to rest. That's just taking the time to rejuvenate. That's just taking the time to know that justice is right behind us. Because we've had the courage, we've had the confidence, we've had the strength, we've had the independence, the determination, and the light and the joy that we need to move on. Whatever situation this may be for you. And it might feel selfish. Like it said, selfish, impatient, dependent on others. It might feel selfish. Other people might think that you're selfish. That's their own opinion, but they don't understand how overwhelmed you are, how overworked you are, how anxious you can be at times, how you feel like you can't concentrate if you're taking care of their needs all the time. They're not really taking that into consideration as much as you probably would like them to, and that's not necessarily their fault. You might have to set proper boundaries and be like, hey, I'm kind of having a moment and I just need some time to rest. I need some time for myself. I need some solitude to myself. And I just really need you to understand that I'm not you out, I'm not shutting you out, but right now is just time that I need for myself to have, and I'm allowed to have that, you know? And people have a hard time with boundaries because when you're doing and doing and doing and doing for them, they might not understand why all of a sudden you feel like you have to back up. And in reality, it's not all of a sudden. It's you have recognized that you're coming and hitting a wall, and you may need the space and the time to heal those wounds so you can come back renewed and rejuvenated and being able to perform how you want to perform, to be able to show up how you want to show up. And then you can't do that when you're constantly doing and doing and doing for other people when you haven't been doing for yourself. You know? This isn't to get on your tail. It's just more of a reminder. You're doing what you can do. You're working with what you got. And that's, you know, that's all we can really do out here. You are doing your best. And Spirit appreciates it. We appreciate it. And I hope that you can appreciate it within yourself as well. You are allowed to take the time that you need to with yourself to rejuvenate yourself. Whether it's a day, whether it's a week, whether it's a month, whether it's a year, however long you feel you need. And you know, these people might feel however they feel, but they're also just not understanding you and your needs, right? You know, they're not understanding. They're probably the ones with this Empress in reverse energy, these creative blocks. So they can't get any more ideas or inspiration from you if you're taking a break. Because if you're taking a break, then you're not giving them fuel to mess with. Basically, you're not giving them the strength to have a reason to pursue you in that kind of way. And honestly, good. They shouldn't be taking advantage of you or taking advantage of your situation in any kind of way. Especially when they know that you need rest, when they see you down and out, when they see you struggling. They shouldn't be taking advantage of you while you're struggling. You know, that's not fair. That's not okay. That's not love, right? Love is understanding. Love is giving people grace. Love is setting boundaries enough to say, hey, I can still love you, but I want to do it from afar for a while to see what I can really do on my own, to see what I can accomplish for myself. I've been dependent, like I said, dependent on others. I've been dependent on others for however long because I haven't been in the mode of paying attention enough to myself to really understand what it is that I'm looking for within myself, to really understand what it is I'm even looking for outside, not even outside of myself, in the world. Because we're looking for reflections of ourselves day to day, you know, where we can connect, where we can resonate, where we can really feel understood. And I hope that you do take this in consideration and do take the rest that you need, because, you know, we all deserve a little nap every once in a while. We all deserve to be able to breathe without the heaviness on our backs. We all deserve to rest without the anxiety of what's going to happen next if I don't do this thing. And Spirit's just literally saying, hey, we got you. We got you. You know, you just have to believe in us. You have to put your faith in us. Put your faith in yourself so you can put your faith in us. That's all you're being asked to do. And I know it can be hard, again, when it feels like you're not going anywhere, when it feels like you're not doing anything, when it feels like you are being backed into a corner, but you have to understand, sometimes you will get in your own way of what you're meant to receive if you're trying and trying and trying and doing and doing and doing, when sometimes you just need to sit down, right? Like I said, I'm going to be on here a little short today because I don't have any internet, but I'm using public internet just to get a message out to you. And I hope that, you take it as it resonates and leave it doesn't. And that you can really just look at yourself and say, you know what, I have done a lot. I have been through a lot. And I am tired. And I am allowed to rest. I am allowed to take a break. I'm allowed to give myself grace. I don't need to beat myself up. I need to give myself space to just be for a minute, however that is. Is there anything else you want to know? I love when they flip out like that. Yeah. We have the Seven of Pentacles reversed. Lack of long-term vision. Limited success or rewards. Work without results and distraction. Like it said, lack of concentration, distracted. We've been distracted from the things that matter. You've told yourself that everything outside of you matters more than yourself. But Spirit's trying to tell you, you matter more than everything outside of yourself. Because that's how you get whatever it is that you're searching for. You can't keep searching outside of yourself when they literally have been telling you, you are everything you need. You have everything you need. Despite the material you don't have, despite the money you don't have, despite the shelter you may not have, you have everything because you have yourself. And you need to put that in a long-term vision. You need to stop looking at things like, well, I don't have this, so I can't have that. You will have it eventually. You have to be patient. Like I said, in patience, you have to be patient with yourself. You have to be patient with the progress. Like I said, limited success and rewards. You might get something here and there, but it won't be satisfactory to the point of what God can give you, what Spirit is allowing you to receive, and what your higher self literally wants you to listen to and understand. You've been distracted. You've been looking at work without results, and you feel like you're not accomplishing the things that you want to accomplish. I can understand that completely, especially with the space I'm in now, but we're being called to look at it more than that. It's not about what we have on the 3D level. It's about what we have in our spirit. It's about what we have in our mind. It's about what we have in our heart. That matters. And it does go a long way. It does. People in your past may have told you, oh, you think that you can just do this by doing that, or whatever it may be. And honestly, yes, you can do whatever it is that you need to get done, as long as you're putting yourself first before you do it. Because you don't want to hit burnout. You don't want to get tired too fast. You don't want to feel like you can't appreciate the things that come to you if you're exhausted. Because you won't be in a headspace to really accept it, to really receive it. Because you might feel like it's deceiving towards you. You might feel like you can't rely on it the way that you want to. And that's literally just because you're hitting a block within yourself. You weren't able to see what you needed to see because you didn't have that long-term vision, right? So, and you can take it as it resonates. It's really hard to see what you need to see when you're looking right at it. So sometimes you have to do that introspection and just look within for a second and say, hey, what do I need right now? What does that look like? And what does that feel like? What is it that I am searching for that will make me feel like I can, restlessness. That's so funny that we have the resting card, the Four of Swords, and then we have the Knight of Swords, restless, anxiety, restless, unfocused, burned out, impulsive, no direction, unpredictable, disregard for consequence. Like I said, you might have to slow down and not rush as much. You might have to slow down and something said this isn't you, this is someone else. Okay, so you need to rest, but someone is restless while you are resting. Something, someone. But at the same time, they're burnt out. They're unfocused. They're being impulsive. They have no direction. You have your guidance. You have your direction. You have your spirit guides allowing you to rest. They don't have anyone. They don't have anything. And they don't have any proper concentration to even take in consideration of the actions and the consequences behind them. You have thought a lot of this through. You have done what you can do. And now you're literally just being called to back up, take a step back, relax, and rest. There's only so much that you can do. There's only so much that you have, that you can say. There's only so much that you can accomplish with what you have. But justice, like I said, is on your side. This person is burning out because they don't know what to do. This person probably was the one that was dependent on you. Maybe is the one that is causing the distractions, and their lack of concentration is what is melding into your lifestyle or your energy and making you feel like you're not doing anything, making you feel like you don't have any results to the work that you've been doing. But that's not true. Energy speaks louder than anything. You've been putting as much as you can put into this thing. Now it is time to rewind and put it back into you, and let whoever this energy is, dependent on you, however they are, handle themselves. Now, if they're children, give them to your grandparents, give them to your parents, give them to your sister, give them to your brother, give them to your cousin, somebody who you can trust to watch them, even if it's for a day, a week, whatever it is. You need space at this time. You need space. You need solitude. You need to retreat. Before you do hit a burnout with this person, before you do hit those creative blocks and you do feel like you're not doing what you need to do for yourself, it's giving you so much anxiety. It's keeping you up. It's leaving you restless. And spirit does not want you in that mode. They want you to rest and say, literally, just give it to us. Allow us to handle it. Go sit down and relax. Relax. I know it's hard. The holidays are still around. The holidays are, still going on. You might have felt like you couldn't do as much as you wanted to do. We will help. It may not always be in the way that you think it might be, but we will help you. You just have to let us do it. You just have to let us take that step for you, and trust us. You want to have faith, you have to trust in yourself. You want to have faith, you have to trust in your spirit guides. You want to have faith, you have to just let whatever you can't control, finances, home life, other people's emotions, whatever it may be, whatever is literally out of your own control, let it go. Let it go. You're doing what you can, but you're literally being asked not to do any more. Not to ignore it. You can acknowledge whatever it is that you need to acknowledge, but don't let it drain you to the point where you're unable to receive what it is that you're being asked to have your hands open for. You have the Magician card. Action, creation, manifestation, power, self-confidence, clarity, willpower, skill, and creativity. Yeah. Like I said, it's really powerful making something out of absolutely nothing, even when you can't see how you're going to get it, when you're going to get it, how you're going to get there, when you're going to get there. It's like a surprise, right? You have to let Spirit surprise you. You have to let Spirit give you what they're trying to give you. You have to let them take the action. You've done enough. You have to let them come in with the power and the manifestation. You've been confident. You've been trusting. You've been understanding of your own situation. I know it can be really hard, especially with finances. Like I know right now for myself is struggling to not be frustrated with myself that I don't have what I need to have to get what I need to get. But I know I do have people here and there who I can ask, who could help and can help. But at the same time, I don't need to be dependent on them. I don't need to rely on them, because I'm not relying on myself, I'm not relying on my spirits, I'm not relying on God. I'm not saying be delusional in the situation. Obviously do what you need to do, but action has been taken. You've created a lot, you've been manifesting a lot, and that requires a lot of energy, right? That requires a lot of solitude, a lot of grace to yourself. That requires so much. Even says skill, yes, and willpower. It requires a lot to focus in on what it is that you need to focus in on. And you're draining yourself day by day by day by day if you keep doing the same thing over and over. And Spirit's slowly just telling you, wait, be patient, relax. Justice, fairness, honesty, clarity is on its way. Cause and effect. You have done the cause. Now let Spirit affect the motion. Confirmation, excuse me. You've done the cause. You took in the action. You've manifested the creation. Now let Spirit take the time to do what they need to do for you. Allow them to come in and introduce you to something that you didn't even think that you needed. Allow them to basically allow yourself to be an open vessel at this time. That don't mean to anything. Be mindful of that. I just mean to Spirit. Because whoever this is holding on to your energy, trying to block your blessings, trying to distract you, trying to wear you out so you feel like what you're doing isn't enough for what you're trying to achieve, is exactly who could be in the way. And Spirit's saying, you don't want that for you. You've been asking us so much. You've been doing so much. You don't want that for you. Yeah. We have the Nine of Cups reversed. Lack of inner joy, smugness, dissatisfaction, indulgence, materialism, inner happiness. Yeah, like I said, this person with this ill-intended energy, they lack the inner joy. They can't see a happy life. They don't have that long-term view through struggle. Me personally, I appreciate when I can struggle for a bit of time just to see what I can accomplish outside of it. I'm not trying to race myself out of it. I'm trying to push myself through it as much as I can. But literally, we're being asked to rest before we hit burnout. We pushed and we pushed and we pushed and we pushed. Now it is time to wait for the results. These people who are lacking inner joy, who have this, oh, you're down and out energy, they don't understand it's temporary. They don't understand that it's not going to be forever. They don't understand that their indulgence in the materialistic things, when we have been putting our energy towards manifesting things, is why we get the inner happiness. Is why we is why we feel the joy, is why we feel the accomplishment, the determination, saying, hey, you know what? Yes, I might be struggling. Yes, I might not have internet. Yes, my phone might be off. Yes, I might not have a job, but that won't stop me from doing what I need to do. But I also can recognize when I've done everything I can do with what I'm allowed to work with, that's all I can do. And let everything else fall into place. That's all we can do. Don't let other people, things, or places distract you or make you feel a certain way. That is completely up to you. That is completely up to you. You are the one in control of your emotions. You are the one in control of your life. You are the one in control of your mind. And remember that. People might try to shift you out of a certain mindset to bring you back to a certain type of lifestyle. And remember that. People might try to shift you out of a certain mindset to bring you back to a certain type of lifestyle. Ignore them. Obviously, they're trying to do it because they are dependent on you, because they realize at one point you were dependent on them. And that boosted their ego. That made them feel wanted. That made them feel good. But when you get into a place where they feel like you don't need them, is when they try to tear you down so you can just come back and say, look, I need help. And they're like, oh, great. Devil at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. Not everyone not everyone who you rely on has ill intent towards you. But there are people in your past or in your current who are dependent on you wanting or needing them. And you have to be mindful of that energy and ask not only yourself, but them, why? What is it that I have? That inner joy? So because they're not happy, they want to make me unhappy? Because I have confidence? Because so they're not confident, so they want to break down my confidence? Because I have the courage, so they're not courageous, so they have to manipulate and go around these crazy loops and endeavors just to make a scenario for me that'll make me break? No. We've been through enough struggle to recognize we can pull through any kind of struggle as long as we keep doing the work. So, devil in reverse, releasing limiting beliefs, exploring dark thoughts, detachment, freedom, restoring control, resentment, lack of will. Like I said, you can tell when people are there to genuinely come and help you without ill motive or any intention of taking more than they know they should, versus the people who are just going to take and take and take and take and expect you not to burn out, expect you to be their energetic battery, expect you to be their fall guy, expect you to be their scapegoat. And you're being asked to release those beliefs while they explore those dark thoughts on their own, and you detach, because that is your freedom. That is your gateway to restoring control. And they will feel resentment. Maybe even you will feel resentment. Like, why did they do this to me? I never would have did this to them. Energy. And to be honest, they only did it because sometimes we allow certain situations because of the benefit of the doubt, or they really came in with the ill intent of doing something they knew they shouldn't have did. Their lack of will is exactly what they're at fault. It is not any fault of your own, but you do have to acknowledge what you allow and what you don't allow, what boundaries you set and what you don't set. There is never a late time for you to say, hey, I need some space. Hey, I need some time. Hey, I don't think this is going to work out right now. Let's negotiate into a situation that works for the both of us. And if somebody's going to have an issue with that on your side, then they are not the people that are meant to be around you, because they're not interested in you recovering. Because once you recover, you could see them as less than. Once you recover, you can see that you don't need them a certain kind of way, and that hits their ego, because they're ego-driven people. My collective is not. It's all love. It's all grace. It's all understanding. And no matter someone's situation, I will always understand when they can't give, when they can't do, when they can't be. Just like how I would expect them to do the same for me. And some people might think that's a high expectation, but it's not. It's a boundary. It's a reality. If you are not willing to give me the same kind of energy I'm putting out to you, then you have to understand if I don't feel as safe or as confident or as open to relying on you in a way that I honestly might need more than someone else, because they are willing to give without the consequence of feeling the need to pull back. I hope that makes sense. So since my phone's about to die, I'm going to give you a quick daily affirmation and see what they'd like you to know. And I hope this message resonates with you. And if it doesn't, that's okay. We can always be back for another one. So, like I said, it's going to be a short little message for my collective. I'm going to post a whole video on my YouTube. You can watch me there at Golden Light Worker 911. Hello. And I hope that you're having a good day. I hope that you're having a good night wherever you are. And you're resting, really. I'm actually going to shuffle these ones too. They said shuffle it, shuffle it. Shuffle, shuffle. So I'm going to shuffle these real quick for you. And sorry for the background noise. The heater is on. It always comes on and off, so hopefully you can hear me fine. But yeah, like I said, after this I'm going to take a break myself. I'm going to rest myself. I'm going to rejuvenate myself, and I hope that you do the same, and that you don't feel bad about it. That you can, understand that you are not a 24-hour machine. You are a human being who has wants and needs, and you're literally being asked to rest. Physical health, that's the first card. My body heals itself with every breath I take. Come on now. Rest, 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 rest. Rest, 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 rest. My body heals itself with every breath I take. Yes. Yes, it does. So, relax. Anything else you want them to know? Anything else you want the collective to know? It's all good, loving vibes. It's literally Spirit is taking you by the shoulders and being like, look, we need to have a conversation. You're doing the most. We need you to relax. Okay? Okay. Love you. Bye. What else would you like to talk into my spirit? What else would you like them to know? Any other daily affirmations? Anything else for them? Forever Spider-Man fan. Spider-Man is cool. With great power comes great responsibility, as they say. Anything else you'd like the collective to know? Okay, relationships. I am a respectful, loving person who cares deeply about how I treat people. people feel safe around me. Yes. 1 second. So wait, you don't. My phone doesn't die. Like I was saying, people might not understand fully why you might need a break, why you might need some space, why you might need some me time. But how you treat people shows more than anything. How you love on people shows more than anything. And you need to also recognize that. You need to recognize you saying no doesn't make you a bad person. You saying, hey, I need some space doesn't make you a bad person. Hey, I need some time doesn't make you a bad person. It's you genuinely being honest with yourself. Recognizing what you need to do for yourself. And honor those feelings. Honor that. Honor it completely and willingly. And saying, hey, you know what? I am allowed to rest. I am allowed to take time for myself. Oh, sorry. I am allowed to take a break, to be reclusive for a while, to not take that phone call if someone's calling me 10,000 times, to put my phone on D&D without feeling the guilt of always having to show up for somebody, whatever it is. You are allowed to do that. You're allowed to take a break. And I'm going to make this again really quick because my phone is literally so whatever it is. You are allowed to do that. You're allowed to take a break. And I'm going to make this again really quick because my phone is literally so hopefully now I won't drop you. Maybe you feel like you've been dropped on the head a lot of times, spiritually, mentally, physically, or emotionally when it comes to getting done with what you need to get done. Or you may have felt like you've got a lot of obstacles dropped in your way, not taking into account of all the work you've already done. So I'm going to pull over. Alright, that's on spiritual health. I trust in the perfection of divine timing and allow my life to unfold as it should. Yeah. I love when my daily affirmations line up with the tarot reading because it literally is that. It's all divine timing. It's all in due time. It's all when you're meant to receive it, you will. You cannot rush the process. You cannot rush the works. You can't. You can't have results by tomorrow or by the end of the week when you want them. Sometimes they'll come in when you least expect them, right? And the more you stop expecting and just have a free mind with all the other things that you could be thinking about doing, think about that long-term goal. Think about that long-term blocking your own self. You're in your own way. Your mindset is telling you that you can't when you literally can. You just have to have the faith in yourself and believe that you can. You're being shown that you have the capability, because look how far you've gotten already. Be proud of the accomplishments you've already made, right? Be accepting of the results that you already have, instead of not having what you don't have, right? Give yourself that grace, give yourself that love, give yourself that understanding that you give to everybody else when they're down and out. Give that same love to everybody else that you give to them when they are down and out. That same kind of compassion, that same kind of focus, that same kind of determination. It's like when you're going to a friend to lift them up, and even on your downest day, and you cheer them up the most, but they don't know how you're doing, or they don't know how you're feeling, or they don't know what you're going through. It's because you're allowing yourself not to be vulnerable, you're allowing yourself not to be open, you're allowing yourself not to be understood, and then coming back to yourself saying, no one understands me, no one wants to be open with me, no one wants to be vulnerable with me. Well, you didn't give them the opportunity. You didn't give them the chance. And that doesn't mean everybody who doesn't want to. It might also mean they're not in the space to do so. It might also just mean that they don't know how. And we're all here to teach everyone about ourselves and about how we handle things and how we go along with things. But we're also here to unlearn a lot of what we were taught, a lot of what we were enforced to believe because of what it looked like instead of what it felt like. The looks only go so far, whether it's on the surface or deep down. It matters about what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish on the inside that will reflect your outside. I hope that resonates. So we're gonna pull some listen bitch cards and see what they got to say. Pull 3 of these. I like pulling 3 and 3 for both of those. Sometimes it differs. It depends on the day, but since, my phone's like pretty much overheating itself and, I'm hungry. I'd like to just pull 3 for 3 today. So it's gonna be a short message. All right, one more. What would you like the collective to know, Spirit? What would you like them to know? Oh, I said one more, we got 2. All right, we'll take it. So, listen, bitch. Don't get weighed down by your worries that you forget to live. Again, I love when my cards match up with my tarot. Yeah, like I was saying, it's really hard for some of us to think about what things could be when we're just seeing our struggle, when that's all we see. But you're being asked to broaden your view, look side to side, up and down, and recognize what you really do have. You have yourself, you have your home life, you have your children if you have children, you have your pets if you have pets, you have dependable people in your life if you do have dependable people, and if you don't, then start within yourself. What do you want it to look like? What do you want it to feel like? And I keep repeating those same words because that's literally what you have to do. It matters about what it feels like and what it looks like to you, no one else. It's not about anybody else. It's not about their opinion. It's not about their wisdom. It's not about what they got going on. It's about what you got going on, right? Oh, excuse me. Confirmation. So listen, bitch. As I ask yourself if it will matter 10 years from now. 10 years from now. And if it won't, don't sweat it. Exactly. If what you're seeing, your struggle is all you see, does that really matter right now? I'm not saying ignore your problems. I'm saying release your problems. You can do what you can, and that's all you can do. Everything else happens in divine timing when you're least expecting it. Stop waiting for something You can keep trying to make things happen all you want, but you're not resting. You're not enjoying the part of the process that requires you to do nothing. And I know that can be hard in a world where we feel like we always have to be doing something, or we're not working so we're lazy, or we're not doing this so we're broke, or we're not doing this or that. And that's not true. Your value does not come off material things. It doesn't matter what the cars you have, it doesn't matter the house you have, it doesn't matter the luxurious jewels that you have, because those all can be stripped away very quickly. It matters about what you have in your inside, what you have in your mind, the visions that you hold, the ideas that you have. But if you keep looking at your struggle, it's the only thing I'm good for, the only thing I'm going to experience is struggle, then you're going to keep going through it and through it and through it again and again and again until you can be grateful for the periods that you got to stop for a minute during this struggle and relax. So listen, bitch, everything you need to get done is already inside of you. Yes, again, I love when my cards match my tarot. I'm not going to even say anything. I'm going to let you take that in. Everything you need to get done is already inside of you. Really hear that. The unnecessary worry, the anxiety, the restlessness, how am I going to get this if I don't have that? You already got it. You have to believe that you do. You have to believe that you do. And God will grace you with those things. You've shown him that you've done the work. You've shown him that you've been patient. You've shown him, you've shown him, you've shown him. Now you just need to show yourself. Understand within yourself. So listen, bitch. Even flowers go through dirt and shit. Keep it blooming, baby. Yeah. This is basically just summing up everything. Struggle is struggle is struggle is struggle, but it does not define you as a person. Everyone goes through a struggle at some point in their life. And I feel like the people who don't understand what it really means to struggle, because they've had people to depend on, they've had people to go to, and you know, that's not to like bash them. It's just literally they don't know what it's like to have no one. They don't know what it's like to be without completely. They don't know what it's like to not know when you're going to eat next, where you're going to live next, where you're going to work next. They might not know these things to understand why you can just get what you get, even though you have been in the struggle. Well, I get what I got because I've been struggling, and God has said, hey, you've done enough. You've been through enough. So here, I'm going to give you something that will really help you out. I'm going to give you something to really show you what you were meant to get out of this lifestyle of struggle. What you were meant to get out of this mindset of I can't do more than what I can. You've pushed enough. You've done enough. And 353 is on the timer, so I'm going to check if there's an angel number on that real quick for you. Three, 5, 7. No. Okay. Good to know. But yeah, sum up the reading. Justice is coming. You take a rest. Energies, people, places, or things outside of you do not have any involvement in what you have going on. Do they want to be involved? Sure. Do they need to be involved? No. Set boundaries. It's okay to have high expectations for the lifestyle that you want, but you also need to be realistic about where you're going. You need to make sure you're having that long-term view into what it is that you're trying to accomplish, and not to catch up with anyone. It is you versus you. It always has been. The biggest battle is our demons, not anybody else. Can people come against us while we struggle with those demons? Yes. But then that should just give you more of the strength and ability to just be able to pull through whatever it is you're trying to pull through. And you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to pull through all the struggle, all the strife, all the downfalls. You have earned your stripes. But you just need to acknowledge that. And I hope that whatever struggle that you're dealing with, because I know I am dealing with my own struggles, that you can trust that you'll be okay. That you do have people who will be there for you, but you also need to be mindful about who is in your circle and for what reasons, if not to generally just help you out. Okay, I love you. This is my only page here on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. I don't reach out, so don't get scammed. And I'll see you next time. Bye.